Right, so today I want to talk a little bit about Jane Foster coming to Marvel's Avengers. I don't know how to feel about this, to be honest. The good thing that comes from this is a new playable character. That's about the only good thing that comes from this, because the way that it's being done, it's another hero event, which I thought outside of Spider-Man was never going to happen again, because it's the most lazy, lackluster way of bringing a new character in, and outside of those characters being console exclusive, which really Spider-Man should be the only one. Spider-Man shouldn't be console exclusive, but unfortunately it's the world we live in now, where Sony wants to keep Spider-Man exclusive to the PlayStation, which sucks for people who don't have a PlayStation console, but there's nothing anyone can do about that. But these hero events are bad decisions to go with, because it's not new content. The only new content that's coming is the character, and the character is said to work like an Echo character in Smash, which I think is a terrible idea. And here's why. I don't think there's enough characters in the game at the moment to justify already so early in this game's life cycle already bringing in characters that are basically a copy of characters already in the game. You have only just crossed into double-digit numbers with the character roster, and you're already giving us Echo characters and characters that are basically a carbon copy of something that already exists in the game. This is something that shouldn't happen. This is like a kind of a mobile game kind of thing, or a fighting game thing. This isn't something you would really expect. And yes, Jane Foster is going to have different heroics. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We only know that there's going to be some things that are taken from Thor's kit, and there's going to be some things that are what they say, how they describe it is there are going to be things uniquely that make her feel uniquely Jane, and I don't know how to feel about that. I also don't know how to feel about cosmetics for Jane Foster, because her run in the comics was so short, and there's so little that you have to work with a character like that, and what are they going to do? What other suits does Jane Foster Thor have, apart from, MCU skin, the base look, something that's unique to the game, and some skins that are part of, maybe a civilian look, because Thor's got civilian looks. I don't know what they can do with Jane Foster in that way, because the only thing that's going to interest people are cosmetics and what the heroics are. If the heroics make her out broken, and it's just the combos that are the same, I'll give them leeway. I'll give them that. But if Thor Jane Foster plays and feels like Thor, the Thor that we already have, I'll see this as a cop-out, because we haven't had a new character. Fucking hell, most consoles haven't had a new character since Black Panther, since September of last year, and the first new character that they're gonna get is, a carbon copy. that's going to feel really shit for most players. It's going to feel really shit for all players, because the last character that we got on PlayStation was Spider-Man, who was not very good. But overall, I'm excited for a new character. I'm excited for more things to grind and more things to grind for. I'm excited to see what they do with her cosmetics. The thing that I don't like is that this isn't story content. With it being a Echo character, you know, the one thing that it could have done is expand the story. You know, Jane Foster is probably going to be the only character and the only excuse that we're going to have to the only excuse that we're going to have for, you know, Asgard, and the only excuse we're going to have to get to and to travel to Asgard, you know, and we're not getting that. It doesn't look like. So I'm concerned with that, because why introduce a character and not do anything with them, especially since this is a character everyone's getting? It just seems really weird to me, especially since you've had no content for the first, you know, the first, like, quarter, nearly half of the year. Again, if the back half of the year is insane, then more power to CD, more power to Square Enix for you know, leaving this big gap and then giving us so much stuff later on in the year. But so far we've had no confirmation of pretty much anything outside of She-Hulk, and I assume we know that She-Hulk is going to be in operation because she has a voice actor or a voice actress. There's no voice actress that's been revealed as Jane Foster yet, which I'm worried about, because is she even going to have voice lines? This is something that I was very concerned about when 2.3 came out, and none of the new missions had voice lines in them, you know, and that for me seemed very lazy. That for me seemed very like, this is the first piece of tangible content that we've gotten in this game this year, and it seems very scuffed. It seems, and there's no voice lines, and it's a repeat of a mission that we've done with a repeat of a boss fight that we've done before so many times, and I was disappointed with 2.3 because of that. Apparently there's voice lines now, but that doesn't really change much. It's still Taskmaster again. It's still that mission. Again, it works the same way. It works the same way that the Maestro ones work. It works the same way that the Maestro ones worked, and that is genuinely really disappointing, because I would have thought that they would have done something new and done something different and done something interesting, because the future Wastelands, if you play with it, if you know, explore it, there's so many cool things that you could do with that, not only with just a story's perspective, but with stuff that isn't necessarily canonical to this game's lore, which already isn't that strong. It's flimsy at best, and fucking, you know, it's a piece of string, essentially. The lore and the story of this is about as strong as a pool noodle, you know, but I'm still cautiously optimistic about Jane Foster, because at worst we're getting another Thor, and Thor already is great in the game as it is already. At best we get a better Thor, which, yes, it's Thor again, and yes, I get that having so few characters and having so many of the very few characters in the game feel the same or feel similar. You know, you've already had it with Kate and Clint. You've kind of got it with Black Panther and Captain America. You know, a lot of the characters in this game feel the same as someone else. You know, and I just don't... And there's already skepticism between, you know, She-Hulk and Hulk. I don't think She-Hulk and Hulk are going to feel similar at all, just because of the character models and just because of the way that they work in the comics. I feel like if She-Hulk and Hulk are, you know, if She-Hulk is a echo character to Hulk, I feel like that's CD not doing their research, and that's CD just doing the bare minimum and being like, hey, she's got Hulk in the name, just make her the same as that other character. I feel like that wouldn't really be testament or justice to the character. But Jane, arguably, there isn't much that you can do to separate her from Thor. It's the same weapon, it's the same power set, it's near enough the same costume. So the only difference is that Jane Foster has tits. That's the only difference, really, between those two characters. And obviously personality, but you can't translate a personality into gameplay. Unless you can, which, you know, the game surprisingly has done really well with recently. And if they can make Jane Foster's personality feel different to Thor Odinson, then yeah, I will give them that, and I will give them different heroics. The heroics is the big thing. I don't care about the main like combos and that. They can be the same. I'm not worried about that, as long as she has some unique ones, and as long as the heroics are unique, and maybe give her a like evolution of shock, and an evolution of like what shock damage is and does, and maybe tweak that a little bit. Because in games like this, you usually have when a new character comes out, and especially because there's such a gap between new characters, when a new character comes out, they will bring in something different and something unique. And I feel like Jane Foster should really be like, I think shock and then maybe electrocution, or like shock and then lightning. I don't know, a lightning status effect that's different to shock, or like an elemental status effect. Like maybe be able to do elemental damage with certain attacks, because I feel like that would work really well with some characters coming in the future. Like, I don't know, friggin' if She-Hulk has an ability where she, you know, picks up a bit of the ground and starts shaking it, you know, or does like several, like, and creates like several quakes. And if Quake comes into the game at some point and, you know, does her things, elemental damage, you know, and there's so much that CD could do, and I'm just afraid that they're going to do what they usually do. And the thing is, though, they've usually been quite good with the characters. They've been quite good with the playable characters. It's just everything else that's fallen apart around that The fact that this is a hero event has me worried. Not that Jane Foster's going to be bad. I feel like Jane Foster is going to be good. It has me worried that, how long am I going to be interested in this game? And how long am I going to want to play it after the fact of Jane Foster being in? Because this game is good at getting me in short bursts. It's not good at getting me hyped for a long time. It's not good at holding my interest. And I want something that's going to hold my interest for a while. And I don't think Jane Foster's going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that for very many people. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Jane Foster coming to this game. And if you think that my opinion of, because I haven't seen... The core opinion that I've seen is that Echo characters is a good thing, and that Echo characters should be in the game. But my opinion, maybe I'm the one in the wrong, but I think it's too early to start introducing characters like that, and to start putting in characters that are so similar to characters that already exist. Arguably, you already did that with Kate and Clint, but I feel like those characters are substantially different in the way that they play and their heroics and their combos, etc. That I feel like that isn't an argument. There isn't an argument for those characters being similar. They're just not. The only similarity is they both have a bow. With Thor and Jane Foster, it's a lot more difficult to make Jane Foster unique, mainly because there is so little Jane Foster in the comics, and this isn't Valkyrie. This isn't the Jane Foster Valkyrie when she becomes Valkyrie. This is her as Thor. I feel like they're only putting that in the game because she's in a movie, and because she's in a movie coming up soon. I feel like, personally, I wouldn't have done Jane Foster. I wouldn't have done Jane Foster this quickly. I would have waited to have more unique characters come in first. But having her be in the game, I don't think is necessarily that bad of an idea. Because, as I've been saying, I have been championing that more female characters should be in the game, just so that, the female player base has more characters to be represented by. And not just that, but because it looks like it looks bad, doesn't it? The amount of characters that are male compared to female. I don't want to say this as like the sexism and whatever. I don't think it's that. I genuinely just think it's all of the characters that you want are male, and then the characters that will sell big bucks are male characters. But I feel like you can have your lesser known female characters, like your Thor, Jane Fosters, like your She-Hulks, like your Captain Marvels, and thankfully this year is bringing predominantly female characters into the game. Fingers crossed we get some of the rumoured ones this year. But as of right now, where the game sits right now, it's a sausage fest, and yeah, I kind of want to see more of a 50-50 split, because there are female characters that would be fucking badass to play as. Scarlet Witch in a game like this, take my money. But yeah, fucking, what I see happening is, because we've had hints to it, we've had nods to it. America Chavez, I think America Chavez is coming to the game. I don't know if I want that. Should be fun to play as, because her power set is quite interesting, and visually looks cool, but just as a character, she's never held my interest. Maybe she's alright in Young Avengers, maybe she's alright in some of the stuff before crazy people started writing her, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, the writers for this game have at least known how to write a story, so they might do something cool with her. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of Jane Foster coming. Let me know what characters you want to see come to Marvel's Avengers. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, let me know if you're excited for Gotham Knights, if you're excited for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, and if you're excited for Midnight Suns. I'm excited for all three. All three are new superhero video games. What do you guys think of this new Wonder Woman video game that's coming out? Doesn't sound good when my question at the end of a Avengers video is, are you excited for these things that DC is doing? But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this one, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.